The smoke clears, and the greatest warrior on earth wakes up from what feels like a terrible dream, but it isn't. He looks down at his hands, surveys the ruined courtyard, and realizes exactly what he has done. Lying in the rubble are the bodies of his own family, his beloved wife, Megara, and their children. He had killed them himself. He hadn't turned on them by choice. The queen of the gods, Hera, despised him. Using dark magic, she twisted his mind, plunging him into a violent hallucination where he believed he was surrounded by deadly enemies instead of the people he loved most. Hera's hatred stemmed from the circumstances of his birth. His father was Zeus, the ruler of Olympus. Seeing the earth overrun by monsters, Zeus wanted a half-god savior to protect humanity, so he disguised himself as a mortal king to seduce a loyal queen named Alcmene and fathered Hercules. Hercules possessed enough physical power to strangle serpents in his crib. Yet all the muscle in the world offered zero defense against the internal sabotage of his own mind. Consumed by grief and hounded by terrifying spirits known as Furies, Hercules leaves his destroyed home. He walks alone into the mountains, seeking a way to cleanse his soul from the Oracle of Delphi. The Oracle delivers a harsh sentence. To earn his freedom, he must submit himself to his cousin, King Eurystheus of Mycenae, and serve him for 10 agonizing years. Eurystheus was deeply jealous and terrified of his cousin's brute strength. Seeing an opportunity, the king designed a series of impossible tasks. He didn't want Hercules to succeed. He wanted the trials to kill him. Hercules accepted these conditions without argument. He would labor for a decade, following every command of the cousin who hated him, on the single hope that these trials would finally wash the blood from his hands. The ordeal begins in the forest of Nemea, where a massive lion is terrorizing the locals. Hercules approaches with his bow, but quickly discovers a problem. The animal has a magical hide, and his arrows bounce right off. Realizing his weapons are useless, he wrestles and chokes the beast. He takes that impenetrable skin and wears it as his permanent armor. Eurystheus sends him to hunt the Hydra. It's a biological trap. Chop a head off, and 2 new heads violently sprout. He adapts, calling his nephew to cauterize the necks with fire, stopping the regeneration. Then Hercules dips his arrows into its venomous blood. He had outsmarted the trap. Surviving King Eurystheus required engineering, alliances, and intellect. By the 5th labor, the king tries a logistical nightmare instead of a monster. Hercules is ordered to clean King Augeas's massive stables, packed with 30 years of toxic animal waste in a single day. This diagram shows his solution. Instead of picking up a shovel, he terraforms the landscape, tearing open trenches from 2 nearby rivers and diverting the flow to pressure wash the massive facility in hours. He uses psychology too. Tasked with retrieving golden apples, he tricks Atlas into fetching them by offering to hold up the sky. But when Atlas tries leaving him the burden, Hercules feigns a shoulder cramp, gets the Titan to hold the sky for a split second, and walks away with the prize. But Eurystheus refuses to play fair. He disqualifies the Hydra, voids the stable cleaning. To complete his 10 years, Hercules must take on 2 extra labors. The final 12th task is meant to be impossible. He must descend into the realm of the dead, locate the terrifying guardian of the underworld, and capture it without a single weapon. Using nothing but his bare hands, he wrestles Cerberus, the massive 3-headed dog, into submission, dragging the beast back to the Mycenae throne room. The king is terrified. Hercules had faced a rigged system, endured moving goalposts, and shifted the immovable, all without breaking his vow of penance. His debt is finally paid. Hercules leaves his servitude behind, marries a woman named Deianira, and they set off to live a quiet, wandering life away from kings and monsters. When the centaur Nessus attempts to abduct Deianira crossing a river, Hercules shoots him with an arrow coated in hydra venom. Dying, Nessus tricks Deianira into believing his venom-laced blood is a love potion, and she secretly collects it. The exact chemical weapon Hercules engineered to survive his impossible labors is now sitting quietly in a vial, waiting to finish him off. Years pass. Fearing that her husband is losing interest in her, Deianira remembers the centaur's promise. Hoping to win back his affection, she smears the supposed potion onto his clothing. The moment the fabric touches his skin, the dormant hydra venom activates. The chemical burns are so agonizing and unstoppable that Hercules ultimately decides to end his own suffering. He builds a funeral pyre and steps inside. But at his death, his father intervenes. Zeus lifts his soul from the ashes, granting him a place among the gods as a true immortal. Hercules secured his place on Olympus not through divine favor, but through 12 years of grueling work to answer for his past. He is remembered as the hero who faced his own capacity for violence and proved that even a life shattered by divine interference can be rebuilt through the tireless will to atone.